Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about a very important subject, and I read an article the other day and it just got me thinking that I think it's something that I really do need to cover in my videos, and it's autism and depression. I want to start the video by saying anyone that has depression or any suicidal thoughts or anything like that, it's really important obviously that we reach out to these people. If you know of anyone that's going through depression, is going through a tough time, it's really important to let them know that you're there for them. I'd like to think that it's not all down to one person or down to an individual with depression, but I would certainly say it's our responsibility as people. If we know of anybody with depression, I think it's our responsibility to make sure that that person's okay and to let them know that we're there for them at least. Again, I want to start by saying if you feel depressed or you're going through a tough time, speak to people. It's the main thing and it will make you feel better. If you've got no one to speak to and you're in a tough time, ring any of these helplines that will help you. It's just about speaking to somebody, making sure that everything that you feel, you know it's okay to feel that way, and speaking to somebody and just letting them know can just really be the first step. I read an article the other day and it's again 5 facts with autism and depression, and it made me think. And the first fact, the suicide risk rose and was significantly higher with people with autism between the years of 2013 and 2017, and that's just really worrying, because not only I feel that people with autism have all the sensory overload issues and the social anxiety and the social interaction, and just on my own kind of thought process, I'm probably not the smartest, I'm probably not the most interactive with people, I'm all of these things and all the things that I think my God, I've gone through this and I've gone through that, and I think to myself there are probably people out there that might not have been able to, and there are people that go through a lot worse than what I have as well. So it makes me think, the suicide risk rose to that and was higher for people with autism. It just got me thinking that it was a video that really does need to be covered. So also, second fact was 5 of 10 people with autism had depression. That's about half of people with autism have depression as well. Also, the third fact was autism adults are 9 times more likely to consider suicide than the general population. Fact number 4 is children with autism are more likely to have depression as adults, and I think again that's probably going through school life and work life, always feeling the odd one out, feeling like they can't make friends, probably being bullied because of their conditions and what they've got, and having to go through an education system that potentially will fail you. I'd never think the student fails the school, it's always the other way around for me. The school fails you, and that is then happening with exclusions and being kicked out and potentially being forced to go somewhere that you don't want to go to. Someone said, and it was Simon Knight actually, who is a brilliant ambassador for autism, is also a head teacher, speaks at many events that I speak at, but he would never dream of sending his children to a school where they felt unwanted, unneeded, not comfortable. The fact that people with autism have that social anxiety and also the sensory overload, and then to feel that you're not wanted anywhere, and then you go on into adulthood and have that same feeling. I can only understand why it is that children with autism later have depression as well. The 5th and final fact is anxiety affects 40% of autistic people. Now, as you know, these conditions have high impact on day-to-day lives. You get worried about something, you get depressed about it, and it's just a vicious cycle. The aim of this video again is just to be mindful of people with autism, what they might be going through, because often they won't let you know that they're sad, they're depressed. Majority of people, I feel, when they're depressed, they won't say that they are. They put a smile on their face, they act like everything's fine, but also thinking at it from an autistic point of view, if they're 9 times more likely to consider suicide, they've got the anxiety of 40% and 30% depression. They've lived a life throughout childhood where they feel unwanted, they feel distressed, they don't know how to interact, they get overload, and then they go out into adulthood. And then you think autism, then you think, well, half the people with autism are going to have depression. These are all things I think that we need to know. And again, just having those sit downs and speaking and just making sure that we are all right, and just having those conversations. But guys, I wanted to make this video because again, it just makes me worry, and it saddens me as well that there are people out there that feel that they can't speak to anyone, that are depressed and have got nowhere to go, and the fact that more than 9 times more likely and half the people with autism will have depression. It doesn't surprise me that the figures are that, and I just wish that we lived in a world where the figures weren't that, and that it was only. I just wish the numbers were lower, and I just feel that government and the world in itself could really work towards bringing these numbers down. Whether they ever will or not, I don't know. But I make these videos to make people aware, and I make these videos to ambassador that change, that government will put more money into schools and special education, because it's really important. If you don't get it right there, they're not going to get it right later on. And it's also about making workplaces aware that don't be afraid to hire someone with autism. The fact that only 16% of people with autism are in full-time work, that's enough to make you feel sad and depressed, let alone that you feel unemployable, you feel like you've got no career, and then you go into work and then they don't quite understand it, can sometimes be even more disheartening. So it's about making people understand, it's about making people aware, and it's about actually saying they're not just autistic, they could have this, they could have that, they could have that. And I always say it's not so much about understanding the conditions, but it's understanding how it affects the individual. And the minute you do that, the minute you can put things in place. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you thought down below. And guys, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye for now.